Hey everyone, it's Army Gaming. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Monster Legends. We have a brand new quest monster available, Hammergrom, and this is not a monster you want to miss out on. Hammergrom is a metal tank with Megaton and Skill Mirror skills. He can also gain damage boost or apply sunburn. He has an evolving trait. At rank 0 he's Bulwark, at rank 1 he gains immunity to stun, and at rank 3 he gains Mega Taunt at the start of every battle. I have to say, I was not expecting this monster to be a breeding monster, a quest monster. I genuinely thought that SocialPoint was going to release this monster the same way they released Minos, with costing $30. Especially when you look at the fact that he has Bulwark at rank 0. That is the old VIP trait. That was what we had to pay money for, right? Even when Kai got released, the Cosmic Kai, Kai the, Eradicator, Kai the Sunmelter, whatever, he has Bulwark and he was an expensive monster. He was the exclusive $50 monster. But now we have this monster and we can breed him. Now here's the thing about breeding. At the end of the day, breeding is RNG. So you may get lucky, you may not get lucky. However, we do have 3 days to try to breed the monster. So let's see what we have to do to breed this monster. This quest is very special. You can start off by getting a new mythic monster, Hammer, by combining Metalhead or Urticus and Taiga or Galante Jr. So those are the 2 monsters you need. Metalhead and Taiga. If you don't have those monsters, you're out of luck. So it's Metalhead and Galante Jr. Or it's Taiga and Urticus. Your chances of getting him are high, but if you don't get Hammergrom, you may obtain any of these monsters, Blossom, Tyrion, Inquisitor, Fullman. For every breeding successful or not, you'll get a scroll, and then you can use those scrolls to get to compete in the quest dungeon. I'll show you guys how that looks like right now. You can get a lot of bronze relic chests, and then you can get up to 200 stars for this monster. So this is definitely a monster you want to take to rank 3, get Megaton at the start of the battle. I will say if you get Centurion, you can still probably use him in certain teams, because all you need a Megaton monster to really do is to absorb an attack, and then you can follow up with your monsters. Inquisitor Fullman, what is he, like legendary monster, and then Blaz, that's pretty cool. He was an old $50 monster as well. So we're going to try our best to get this monster. We're going to showcase a 1 breed attempt, and then we're going to do an analysis on this monster. So Urticus, so Metalhead and Taiga, because I know everyone always asks. Let's go to breed, Metalhead and Taiga, or, I don't want to mess up. It's Metalhead and Galante Jr. We'll do that one. Breed, click on the little heart. There's Taiga. Let's find Metalhead. Metalhead is metal. He's level 100 for me probably. Yeah, Sanderson. Alright, Metalhead and Taiga. Here it is. Wait. No, that'd be dumb. I'm doing Metalhead and Galante Jr. Metalhead and Galante Jr. Yeah. That way I can try 2 attempts. Click on the heart. So I'm doing Sanderson. That's what my Metalhead is called. What a non-fitting name for the monster. I called him Metalhead. Alright. Galante Jr. is right here. So we click 2 and we click start breeding. So when you breed, you will get 46 hours. Okay, that doesn't mean you got the monster. Okay, you're always gonna get 46 hours. You're always gonna get one of these 4 monsters. This is the event where you always get one of the 4. So there is a high chance to get Hammer. Again, at the end of the day, it is RNG. But I would say you probably are not spending more than 150 gems. And space it out. Again, you have 3 days to breed the monsters. You have 4 days actually. 3 days, 20 hours left, and then the event started like 4 hours ago. So you have some time to space it out. If you can activate your Camilla, do that. What I like to do is, like, if I was to activate it right now, this would still have what, like 9 hours to 6 hours. I forget off the top of my head. But so I'm gonna wait a while. I'm gonna wait, like, I think it's 9 hours 11 minutes. So I'm gonna wait 9 hours before activating it, and then I'm gonna activate it, and then whatever happens happens. So I'm not gonna activate it and then gem. I'm gonna chill and relax. Obviously, over the Golden Legends pass, it's better because whatever monster you get, hatching time is reduced. If you're still racing, you can use this event to help you race, especially if it's like breed a legendary, because clicking back on the quest, there's a chance you end up with Inquisitor Fullman or Centurion, which are both legendary monsters. So you can actually be helping your team while trying to get Hammergrom while still racing, if your team is still racing. Alright, because at the end of the day, it's important to get Kage since he is available in the race. And yeah, Kage is a lot easier and more guaranteed than Hammer, but definitely worth going for Hammer. And then let me show you guys the quest I was talking about. If you go to resource dungeons, corrupted arrow, survival no, Easter no, quest stage right here, click on that and check this out. I have 8 scrolls. What you should know about this is that every time you do a breeding, successful or not successful for Hammer, you'll get a quest scroll. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. There are 12 nodes. Let me recount. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. There's 12 nodes. So I would say if you have like 5 scrolls, do not do this. Only do this if you know you can get all the way to the end, because if you notice, the more you go to the end, the more scrolls you get. Or not the more scrolls you get, the more bronze relic chests you get. So this is an event you definitely want to make sure that you can go all the way to the end and not waste like 3 scrolls and then stop, and then 3 more scrolls and then stop every time this event comes up. Stack your scrolls, you can save them, they save up until the next quest dungeon, so be sure to save. And with that being said, let's take a look at an analysis on Hammergrom and see what else he has to offer. Okay, so here I am on the official SocialPoint forum. I will link this in the description if you want to see the monster sheet for yourself. Let's go ahead and scroll down, and look at that. We have a monster with a life stat of 92,592. That is super tanky. Wow. We have a power stat of 8,272 and a speed stat of 6,215. So that life stat is actually the 3rd highest of the corrupted monsters. Currently, the monster with the highest life stat is Rootshaw, followed by Influxer. So 3rd highest, but he's the Megaton monster with the highest. The power stat is actually slightly above average. It is tied to that of Lady Meow. And as for that speed stat, 6215, it is slow. It is the 4th slowest stat in the game. It is tied to that of Minos, Dream, Influxer, and Cat, just for reference. But who cares about the speed stat? This monster doesn't need to be fast. He doesn't need to go and attack. He is just there to absorb enemy attacks. So we already talked about the trait, Bulwark, Immune to Stun, and Mega Stun, or Mega Taunt. Why do I keep saying Mega Stun? Mega Taunt. That is amazing. So at rank 3, it's a must that you get this monster at rank 3. It looks to me like SocialPoint is releasing a Mega Taunt monster every single season. We had Ollie, we had Mouseron, and we had Hammer. Ollie was a frat monster. We had a Mouse who was a exclusive monster, and now we have this one who is a quest monster. So I wonder if you miss out on him, if you can get a future one, especially if you don't have the breeding combos for him. But regardless, this is a must-have, I would say, for that Bulwark trait alone. 50% of the time, you will not be landing negative effects against this monster. That means dots. That means denial. So lacking, like the failure to land some sort of, like especially denial, like lacking to possess or freeze or stun. Well, you can't even stun this monster at rank 1. This monster will be able to then go attack and do something, and you could potentially end up losing. In terms of relics, this monster holds the Armor Relic and the Shield. This monster is in the Righteous Court, Good Legions, and Family book. Oh, he's actually not in that many books then. He's in Good Legions and Families right now. Because Righteous Court, I don't know if SocialPoint is really going to be doing wars with that book. But moving on to his attacks. Look at that. He has a 0 cooldown, 0 stamina, 40 damage attack. That's pretty powerful. Warmaster's Apprentice. We have Remntar's Nephew, which deals low metal damage, 20 and 0. 30 stamina cost, however. Alright, let's go to the actual skills. So, Always Forging heals itself by 30%. It is just an immediate 30% heal on a 1-turn cooldown. Honestly, not a big fan of it. Let's see what else we have. Hopefully he has a better healing skill later on. I don't think so. I'm glancing through the skills real quick. Deals moderate light damage to enemies and applies Sunburn. This gives me Bomb Beta vibes. I like that this is a metal damage, but it has a light-based attack. So, you Sunburn the enemies. If the Sunburn lands, it will reduce enemy accuracy by 15%, as well it is a dot. So, reducing accuracy is great because there is a chance that the enemy misses, so I like this. We have Soul of Light. Wow, he packs a punch. 60 damage. Yeah, I definitely get the Bomb Beta vibes. I think even Bomb Beta has like a strong 55 attack that sunburns. Look at that. Deals heavy light damage and applies Sunburn. What the heck? Why does this monster steal Bomb Beta's attacks? I think Bomb Beta can also daze in the same attack. But yeah, we have a 60 damage 2-turn cooldown, 42 stamina cost skill. We have Royal Armorer, applies skill mirror to itself, blocks 50% of incoming damage. I have to say, I love when monsters can skill mirror, when Megaton monsters can skill mirror. Because the way I see it, if I'm drawing attacks toward myself, I want to be able to reflect whatever you throw at me. So now the enemy has to be really, really careful with throwing stuff at me. For example, if the enemy does an AoE freeze, again, I have Bulwark. The freeze may not land against me, but then I'm going to reflect the freeze against you. If they do a stamina drain, I'll reflect the stamina drain. If they blind or total blind, thanks to my Bulwark, the blind or total blind may not land, and then I get to reflect, and then it may work against them. So, skill mirror on a monster like this is great, and on top of that, it blocks 50% of incoming damage. So keep in mind, you have Megaton, you're taking 3 times the damage, so if you can cut that in half, that is great. So, this is going to be a must-have skill for me. It's amazing, I love it. Royal Armor. We have Hammer Throw, which deals moderate metal damage to enemies and applies daze. So there we go. I like this Megaton monster because he reduces accuracy with Sunburn and applies a dot, and then he also reduces accuracy with daze and damage output. Again, your Megaton monster, part of his role is to stay alive. So with reducing the accuracy with Sunburn and reducing accuracy with daze, and on top of that, reducing damage output with daze, and on top of that, blocking 50% of incoming damage, this monster has no problem staying alive. His only heal skill, however, is that 30% heal. So unlike other Megaton monsters that have more healing skills and have ways of recovering and cleansing negative effects, this Megaton monster does not have that, but again, he has that Bulwark going for him. And last but not least, we have, like all Megaton monsters, they can reapply Megataunt. So applies Megataunt and damage boost to itself, requires cooldown. So very interesting. We normally don't get a Megaton monster that self-boosts, right? Megaton monsters are not supposed to be attackers. I guess, as always, there's arguments to, you could play around with an interesting setup. You could maybe give this monster Rainbow, you know, life, speed, and strength. And then because this monster has the skill mirror and the damage boost, you could potentially pack a punch, right? You also have a 16 to 40, so that's not necessarily, yeah, and you also have that 40 spammable. So, I mean, typically you don't want to do it, but there'd be nothing wrong with it. But typically, with a Megaton monster, you go 3 team speed, you go a life and 2 team speed, and you could even do 2 life team speed. I've seen 3 life, like, you can literally play around with whatever you need for the specific situation. Keep in mind, once again, this monster has Bullrike. So normally with Megaton monsters, the more life you give, if you're going up against DOT people that apply Bleed, Nightmares, Burning, especially since we have talents that can do Burning, right? It doesn't matter how big your life is because you're going to get wrecked thanks to the percentage damage. But thanks to Bullrike, 50% of the time, you won't get hit with those dots, so you have a greater likelihood of staying alive. So yeah, I gotta say, I like the monster a lot. I'm curious how many people are gonna do a different kind of build and maybe play around with it, especially with the skill mirror mechanic and everything. But yeah, I think this is 100% a must-have. You want this monster. He has a great skill set. Well, I would run for this monster, assuming I use him as a regular team speed, like life 2 team speed or 3 team speed. I would say you run pure royalty because you got to be able to reapply Megaton, especially now that in the game we have Dispelling Fist and positive effects can be removed by anyone. You need to be able to reapply Megatons. I would say you want the skill mirror skill, 100%, block 50% of incoming damage. That's basically like doubling your life if you're blocking 50% of incoming damage. So we have 2 skills already. I would say you want to run the AoE Sunburn and the AoE Daze. So I would go 3 AoEs and and I think there's arguments to maybe not doing the AoE Sunburn or the Daze, and instead you run your 60 damage skill, your Soul of Light, because yeah. So I think the 2 for sure skills are Pure Loyalty. And let me go through it again. Pure Loyalty and Royal Armor. Those are your 2 for sure skills. And the last 2, you pretty much just go to your benefit. If you like the heal, go for it. I think most of the time you won't be needing it. I really say better than 30% heal is to try to sunburn the enemy. Maybe you win with the dot damage. Maybe it's just the accuracy reduction. Or again, the daze. The whole point is to stay alive. So reducing the accuracy, reducing damage output. But Royal Armor and Pure Loyalty for sure. Soul of Light could be a good one because you deal very heavy light damage, which is 60 damage. If you did Pure Loyalty before that, now you have a damage boost, so that's 90 damage, and it sunburns on top of that. So that's why I'm saying maybe you go with the AoE Daze and your Soul of Light instead of Ray of Hope. So it's totally up to you. I'm gonna definitely want to get this monster. I think I'll probably just be switching and swapping around, but I think Soul of Light might be something I do on turn 2, if not the skill mirror. So we'll see. This monster, in terms of talents, there's so many ways to go about it. I would still probably rock Sin Eater for offense, because if this monster was to get freeze or possessed, Sin Eater, and you have some sort of dot on you, Sin Eater can cleanse, and then you're free to attack. So to reapply that Megaton, or to reapply Skill Mirror, or to deal your 60 damage attack, you could always run Soul Drag, so when the enemy kills your Hammergrom, you end up killing them if you have a high-ranking Soul Drag. You can do a lot. You can go with one of the healing ones. You could go with Unholy Vigor if you need the stamina to do an attack, although you could also run Warmaster Apprentice, so you don't need to worry about stamina. There's a lot of ways you can play this monster. What does his ultimate do? Deals heavy metal damage, applies Mega Stun, so an AoE denial. Overall, monster's great. Definitely, if you can go for him, or yeah, you should go for this monster. Let's put it that way. You have 3 days, 4 days, whatever it was to get this monster. Try to get this monster. You need a Megaton monster on your side, especially now that we have a metal Megaton monster. So we may be getting a Megaton for every single element. Who knows? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Thank you very much, and remember to subscribe.